Okay, we're going to show how we made this groove in here after making all these holes. We have smaller leftover blades. We're just going to go down the center. Then we come over to the side. Then we do the outside. Use your grinder this way at your own risk. Get the idea. Okay, get the idea. Then flip it over and then do the other side. Then I'll use a stone to smooth it, which I use a small stone. So I never throw away cutter blades till they're completely gone. There's always small jobs you can do with these. Cut little metal rod. They never get thrown away till they're gone. I actually have a little homemade grinder from a sewing machine that I have put these on. I make plastic washers, make them fit. So they're used till they're completely gone. But you get the idea. You'll get messier on this side than the other side, the side you're cutting. But you'll never see this when it's done. It'll be hidden underneath the vise. So I thought I'd show that, how I cut that out. Then, like I said, just take your small actual grinding stone, go in there and smooth it up. Then you could use a rotary tool, Dremel or something to smooth it. But the slot will be big enough. There will be washers. Excuse me. There will be washers on it. Back in the shed, it is like 45-mile-an-hour wind gust coming today, and I don't know what the wind chill is when you add that to 32 degrees. But we're doing the sparking, grinding stuff like this outside. Okay, this is just 3/8 bolt, but we have a little more work to do. Make it happen. Which we'll use our Dremel. Down here we're a little close. It doesn't matter how nasty it looks because you're never going to see it. And there will be big washers on here. But you get the idea. So this will turn 1/4 turn, 90 degrees. Okay, that covers that part. Just a little work. I'll use my Dremel stones. And I did use a small actual grindstone on the 4.5 inch grinder. It's a real small one, just to get in here and make this curve. And I used the top of the stone, which would be you grind this way, the top, to get this part. Because if you go this way with the normal grinding, you're not going to get it to work. So I just used the back of it, which I call, and did this. Then plus flip it over, do both sides. But I used the cutter blade, which I showed, to actually cut the stuff out of the way. So be careful doing that stuff for your eye protection. If you take the guard off your grinder, you're at your own risk. I know it's dangerous, but I did a lot of work by taking the guard off that you can't do otherwise. But enough playing with that, you get the idea. There's our little turntable thing. This has to be refined just a little bit. We cannot find our 1/2 inch bolts. We gotta wait to go to the hardware store, but there's just a little refining we're gonna need. Not a lot. So off to the rest of the project. Yeah, you get the idea there. Okay, we refined it. It looks pretty good. You may have to take the Dremel to it. You seen the last clip how I got that stone in there? Just be careful. I think it'll clear 1/2 inch bolts. These bolts are not in line either. If I flip this over, this would be totally off. One of these bolts is like one way, one's another way. So you can't flip this over and make it work. It's just the way the vise is made. It wasn't made exact. Let's get the idea. We have to clear 1/2 inch bolt. We don't want to use these. These are 7/16, way too small. We want 1/2 inch. Actually, there's a 3/8. We want the big 1/2 inch. Biggest bolt we can get. It'll make it easier to work. We'll make our little thing with our handle, like you have in your vise when you turn it, that slide hand T-handle. We'll manufacture that. Okay, I think we've covered this part enough. So keep it marked. There's the front of the vise. Keep it marked as you're working. It was nice I had this hole drilled in here. I probably would have drilled a hole in here. Even if I didn't tap it, I would have drilled a hole in here and had a bit or something stuck in there. Just to set this down here to spin it. But that's probably why this was here, for the old part that spun. I do not know what the old part would have looked like without looking at a bunch of vices. So we're doing this all from scratch. Okay, I covered that enough.